Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Titans of Tier 3. And well, playoffs are straight on the horizon, but to actually wrap up two remaining spots that we do have for playoffs, we're gonna have the play-ins right here. I'm Volt, and I'll be joined by Ansel. First of all, how are you doing, my man?
I'm doing very well, and I'm excited. You know, this season's about to come to an end. We're about to get a new controller in the game. I mean, the hype is building up, but do you know what else we're about to get to? We're about to get into the play-ins, which is, I believe we have 2 matches in the play-ins, but maybe there's 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't count.
Oh, there is 3. There is 3, but we're only streaming the first 2. Yeah.
Thank you. And that's going to decide who makes it in to the playoffs for the Titans of Tier 3, which will be an excellent playoffs. I can just assure you, we got some amazing teams over there, and I'm excited to watch those as well.
Yeah, well, just to wrap you up in a situation, we already have 14 teams. As the tournament as a whole was split into 2 groups, top 7 from one side and the top 7 from the other side, all of them have indeed qualified to the playoffs. The remaining 2 slots to confirm the 16 teams that will hit into that phase is gone through here. The first 2 games will be the games that actually do qualify you to the play-ins. The last one is just primarily a seeding smash to see which one gets the higher seeds. So that one unfortunately will not be streamed, but what we have streamed here is actually one of the teams that is pretty much a native Tier 3. Like, you talk about Sizzle, they've been basically here since I've started in like 2021.
We got some fantastic, yeah. I mean, a long team. 2021, not as old as me in Valorant, no. Beta players rise up. Anyways, we're gonna be getting into map 1 here, and map 1 is gonna be on Breeze. VX, what are your thoughts about Breeze here?
Well, I have very specific thoughts about the map. I like the map, but I really dislike the changes that was done in the rework, because now I think that the map has been a bit more clustered, but not in a good way. It's not, for example, like a split or a bind. You still do need the Viper. You still have these very long sight lines where Op actually do indeed, like, they just can decide an entire round here, especially Dector and Eternal. Both of them can lock down parts of the map. But then you also get to all of these changes, like the change to cave, the changes around B, even middle itself. And it just feels like a lot of opportunities has been gone away, but maybe with the reintroduction of that Halls lurk, maybe things can change again.
The reintroduction of Halls lurk has been absolutely amazing. Been loving it. It's still a little bit whack now, because Breeze before the reintroduction of Halls, not the original Breeze, was a bit more straightforward. You go through the mains, mid kind of important for splits, but now you can do a split just from the mains again for A. It's changed how this map has fought, and while I might like it, I still don't know whether it's for the better or worse, I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, I definitely think it's for the worse. I think that they just need to make their minds up, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest. Because I feel like they want you to have that opportunity, but maybe they also don't. They want you to go down middle, but they're giving you alternatives since they know that middle is the problem. And it just feels all over the place, and well, maybe this is something that Sizzle can pick up on, since they do start on that attacking side. And we haven't really talked about the comps, it's just because they're the mirrors, they're the basic, and this is exactly what has been happening.
Yes, we're gonna be seeing that mirror comp as a Cypher main. I am excited to see double Cypher, but that is definitely the norm on this map now, is seeing that double Cypher, KO, a fantastic agent, Viper always going to be necessary. So because we see those mirror comps, it's really going to be about which one of these teams is able to get the economy ball rolling. And we're already seeing that Halls area be used right here in round 1.
Yeah, already good control down the halls, and they're gonna open it up. They're ready to play. The flash is great, but can they get the kills? The answer so far seems to be a resounding yes. YDC able to find a trade. Sees though might be in a position to find something, but the problem is he finds more that he could chew. And it's all going to the side of Sizzle. 1 final kill, but External seems to be able to respond. 2 kills are found, 20 health. But I don't know if he even has a chance with him being that low. It already figured out. Yup. That confirms that the first pistol heads over to the attacking side.
I mean, great job from Externo there to bring that back, but it wasn't enough. A great job from Sizzle overall, responding to the Hull's aggression there in that round. It was very clean, and we're going to be seeing a very good buy from them now. They're going to see a Bulldogs, a rifle, and 3 Spectres. No pistols, just no insurance. Every gun will be valuable for NMS for Crimson here to pick up. So it's going to be how many picks can Crimson get on this round?
Well, one could have been well, but Eternal unable to connect with the headshots. And I feel like one of the themes that we are seeing here in this game, and something that we'll probably have to touch on throughout the entire series, is that the Initiator seems to be doing an excellent job. Like you look at YDC, you look at Steez, these flashes, they've been doing work. They've been enabling a lot of space, but space not utilized by NMSU just yet. And they've lost a lot of it, and especially with the firepower disadvantage, they basically have to start over.
They do have to start over now, and we're going to be seeing an engagement right there. Dector going to take out Juna, and it's going to be a push here, an A split coming out from the side of Crimson.
An A push that is indeed continuing on the side, and Leon has found a kill. Externo again back at yellow. Feels like a late deja vu from the pistol round, but this time around, attacking side just has too much firepower in Dector. He's making the best use of that Vandal at hand. One more player remaining. Again is Externo, and again, the result will be perfect for Sizzle.
Just a great take onto site there. Great post-plant positions, not allowing Crimson to get back in there, especially with those lesser weapons. You need to be careful when the opponent has those classics, because if they get up close, you never know what a right click can do. So great job from the side of Sizzle, not allowing the guns to get into the hands, not stripping your economy, going in cleanly into this bonus round. And now Crimson here is going to have to step up and get this round here if they don't want to start the snowball for Sizzle.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be a lot of work to do that, though. That's the main thing, because you look at the firepower on the other side. Sure, it is indeed a bonus, but you still have that Vandal, you still have that Bulldog, and sure, the long-range engagements definitely do not favor the Spectre, but if they are playing for this lurk right here, they might be able to find some space. That's why I love what Eternal is doing. The door is open, and he's just giving himself space, and you look at that. Sizzle, they just backed off yet again. They're going to play towards mid, and maybe first play towards B, and the Cypher will finally be tested.
Here we go. Look at this. It's going to be a B push coming out with this lurk right here coming out from the Viper. This B push, it's very interesting. Leaving that lurk there, but it's been red right now. Maybe noise was made, but all the members of Crimson are rotating over. Here comes out the KO ult. Maki's with one in that corner is going to start this take.
Well, the take goes on. Maki's able to find a second wave. That's a spike. That's a big problem. But Lunar seems to be the fixer for this situation. Still, though, without the spike being planted, definitely not in the best spot for this game, as they do try to put themselves back on the map. YDC finds that kill, but Steez out in the open. Good trade from Leon, but time is going to be of the essence here. Eternal probably unable to contest. 15 points of health, and the bonus is converted. A good start there from the side of NMSU, but they weren't able to capitalize on the Cypher finding that double.
A good work on the defense there. Right? They had some great ideas, but when KO, there's a reason why KO is really good on this map. His KO is really good. He's great at shutting down the Cypher, and Cypher typically is going to be setting up B. It's kind of the best site. A has some really crappy traps. There's not a lot of good utility you can place on A, and because there's 3 ways to get into the site now, you can't really trip all of them. So you'll see Cypher setting up B, and so the read from Sizzle there to KO ult B, completely denying that utility. Although Although Makis is able to get a double kill there, it wasn't nearly enough. All that defensive utility from that Cypher completely gone. Just gave Sizzles just such a good lead into that take. And their post-playing positions were absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, has indeed been the case, but well, can they continue to put themselves in that spot? Because that has to be the big question. Right now, the play seems to have been made from the opposite side, and it feels like the defending side is definitely playing themselves a bit too much here. Because sure, they do have the read towards B, they have the information towards mid, but I definitely feel, especially at these rounds where you have a big firepower disadvantage, you might want to take a bit more of a risk than the one that you've taken. Because look at Leon, it's easy pick'ems here, the Guardian. Finding 2 Externo. Too late on the trade because already Dector has controlled that part of the map, and it's just the Viper and the Sova, and now it's just the Sova all alone. That's the Sheriff in that hand, and that will nowhere be near enough. 4 in a row on the attack.
4 in a row, and what a snowball to begin. But now it's Crimson. They're going to be buying up. They got Phantoms, Vandals, and even an op on Eternal here. Going to have that op on the Jet. Great on this long-range map and see where it gets posted. It's a bajillion places it could be posted. It could be posted mid, it could be posted A, but it looks like it's going to be posted straight down B main here for an aggressive swing, and what a read it is, because it looks like Sizzle right now are going to be pushing that B main.
Oh, it's very aggressive though, Eternal. Not finding that kill, but thankfully for him, by being glass cannon on that op, he does still survive, and it's going to be a back off here from Sizzle. Only just a single player caught by the knife. Steve is catching a headshot, but YDC good in a trade. Lunar as well. Gonna add on to that tally, and the Wolves do continue. Eternal. 0-4, and well, 4 players remaining, so maybe the off 4K to save the game?
Maybe. We'll see what happens here.
Well, what's happening is the spike is being planted. And rotations has been made by the defending side. Luckily for them, nobody's gonna intercept them that early on, but now they have to be very careful because the setup is very good in the post plan, and the ops seems to be unable to land a single shot for the kill. Leon is gonna again find the same place, deja vu, and take 2. It's gonna be Leon closing it off for 5 in a row for Sizzle.
Leon there making an amazing lurk up mid. He sneaks in through top nest and he comes around back there. He goes through mid up to the top and he lurks into that bridge position, and he's able to find value every time. You gotta think, are you going to move some of this Cypher utility? Are you gonna post somebody up mid permanently? Because that's what you got to do now, because he's finding so much value off these lurks. You really need to at least, the very least, put a trip in nest.
Yeah.
Or if you need that utility for B, go place your Jet there, or place, you know, a person there, especially because your Jet with an op in mid. Very deadly combination.
It's on my way.
Yeah, but that combination didn't work that round. And hey, you know, to your credit though, for that point, I feel like it's just muscle memory, because, you know, you get very used to the way that you play the map. Because remember, initially it was the chamber meta, he was an extreme menace. You just put the trap there and didn't really worry about halls and that rotate. But now it feels like a trade-off, because you definitely have to put that into consideration. And with the moves that Leon has been making the last 2 rounds, up to 7 kills already in that game. But I'm looking at YDC, and honestly, that's a statement. 7 kills and 10 assists. And it's just 5 rounds. Like, it speaks volumes of how, I would have said uncompetitive, but well, it's just a stomp, if I'm gonna be honest, so far early on. They can definitely get it back up, but they need to find their footing really quick.
Oh, looks like the teams have been switched. We've been saying the wrong things. NMSU Crimson is actually up 5 here on the attack.
Oh, okay, okay.
It happens, it happens. Sometimes you get this name switched up. Repping the C9 Charm Steez. I hope he wins now. Let's go C9. Anyways, Externo getting pinged here in mid. It looks like it's going to be a full brawl for mid right now.
Well, they do find that kill, and YDC again. Finding a kill this time actually for an NMSU, and oh, it's also clean. It's also easy and sure. It's a half buy, but again, you gotta just speak about this because every single time, buy a half buy. You're playing it for the default, or you're even trying to gamble. It just seems like nothing is working for Sizzle.
And I saw at the end of the round there, Leon still in that back. He's going for it again. He keeps going for this. Of course, the round ended way earlier, but a testament to what they do on these A takes. It's not just a two-pronged attack from like mid and A main, but it's more of a three-pronged attack with that backstab that's consistent. Great strategies coming out here from Crimson, but now we're going to be seeing their B take again, and it's when they have that K ult here. But Maki's is playing 7 years away from the site to make sure their utility stays up, and that is able to net a kill. Externo playing off that trips is going to be able to find the first blood there.
Yeah, but the trade might be coming in for the Fury, but the problem is the Hunter seems to be whiffing his target. At least Externo is going to be routed out in the open. Great shot from Jean. Leon is down, and that shock dart could have been enough. NMSU has to be careful because the retake is coming in, and all the kills are coming. Finally, Sizzle seems to have a bit of a renaissance. It was a slow cook at the start, but now they're cooking Lunar out. That's a great headshot. They lined up, but not enough to land a pair of headshots back to back, and it's gonna be Sizzle on the board. First round to be found.
Back way back during the Asher meta, I remember Gambit bringing Cypher on Ascent, right? And one of their things that they would do with the KO that was quite meta there and still is they'd make sure they have their Cypher player playing super far back in spawn. That is what Maki's did. Play super far back when they see that the KO has ult. The KO is gonna go ult to B site because that's where the Cypher is gonna be, right? Cypher loves setting up B, so they're gonna ult this thinking, oh, we're gonna get the Cypher traps with the KO ult. It's gonna be a free entered site, and then all of a sudden you're running into trips, you're getting sprayed down because Maki's is nowhere near that site. Great job from Sizzle there, realizing what their opponents were gonna do, making the read and adjusting.
Yeah,
That's what you gotta do to get these rounds. And while that might not be replicable because KO is not going to have ult every round, and KO might not go B with ult every round that he has it, it's still a great way to get one to start shifting the momentum.
Well, they indeed are shifting things around, and it's very intriguing that they actually used a Viper's Pit that deep in main, because now look at the rest of the map. Look where NMSU are heading. They're heading towards tunnel. They're still going to split towards B. The Viper might still be a problem in Dector. Going to be able to find that opener onto Eternal and Sizzle. They still have some setup towards B with that Viper. But with them losing mid, they need to be very careful about a return here. Trip broken. Maki's is known, and at this time again, another player leaping in. And it will still be Leon. We'll find that kill, but it was YDC on the flank and Dector. Clean up Externo, and all of that investment is just too not flawless from NMSU.
Once again, Leon getting multiple. This Cypher finding so much value. It's, it's great to see. We had the era of Killjoy. Killjoy definitely not good on this map compared to a Cypher. And now we're seeing Cypher get used more and more in these maps. I love to see it, but if you hit tab right now, what you're gonna actually end up seeing is a lot of money on this side of Crimson, and very bootstraps, poor money. I didn't know what I was saying there, but 350, 600 creds give you the numbers estimates. Yeah, there's 4 rifles in a ult. The knives here for the side of Sizzle,
Yeah,
but
let's look at this. Like you said it yourself. Like they don't have a lot, and they're already gonna lose most of it. Disorder has gotten that first kill. That's a Blaze Storm off of the commission. Did a 4-on-4. The spike is planted indeed. Well, rotations, they're very long, and It looks like the round should be over. If I'm on the side of Sizzle, I might have saved because you walk into IDC and he's on that kind of form. It's not gonna be an easy time. 3 for him. One more player left to find. It's just Externo, and honestly, Externo has been the beam of shining light for Sizzle. He has been, I would say, their one good thing about the entire game, and he's gonna find one good kill. But it just seems to be it. The time is too far gone, and the exits are definitely out of hand.
Very much, and only one rifle saved. Yes, it's going to be Externo with that Phantom. That's going to be... Oh, I almost spoke too soon, but a great win on that fight there from Externo. But that economy damage that he grabs right there at the end, not definitely going to be noticeable. But you know what is noticeable? The fact there's 3 sheriffs. Going to be 2 sheriffs now on this side of Sizzle, and they're forcing, and you got to remember that economy is also like one half of this game. It isn't just win your gunfights. You're not playing Call of Duty. You're playing a game, or Rainbow Six. You're playing attack shooter where every round will impact the next, and forcing up every round.
Why are we hating here?
Oh no, I love Rainbow Six. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
And I've seen force strategies work, but more often than not, forcing every round to try to flip one more round is almost never worth it, because it's so much harder winning rounds with Guardians and Sheriffs than it is winning a round with 5 Vandals.
Absolutely, and this is why we're seeing this kind of movement from Sizzle, because they know, exactly as you said, and in the head-to-head, they have no chance, so they need to utilize their numbers, just play to the element of surprise, and the problem is nothing. They're gonna stop Dactyr from finding that kill, and Magma is being spit. It's hot fire here for the attacking side. It's all going red. And well, it might be trippy, but Eternal, he is not.
9-1, that's a scoreline.
Yeah.
And I'd have to bring up the stats on Breeze, because I'm not too sure how new Breeze is. But getting this many rounds on attack is just perfect. That sets you up, especially if you really know how to use this Cypher on defense. You can get a lot of rounds on the defense and get 9 up on the attack. Very good. But once again, we're seeing KO with his ult, and it's a B lane. Every single member of Sizzle is at B, and Maki is just playing 7 years away again to make sure that his util is still up, but it's not enough this time. A great entry is coming out, and the site has already been given over.
Well, and you might as well call the round over, because just one more player is remaining in their way. Sheriff and Adam Maki, but the problem is too many outlaws in that B site. 10-1.
Last round in the half.
And you gotta remember, ladies and gents, this is just a BO1 game. Like, there isn't really a whole lot that we're gonna do after this one. So it might be a long break between this and the semifinals. And I don't know about you, Anzo, but I just look at Sizzle and I think, can they actually find something back in the second half? And just from this first display, I feel like they definitely might have been bested in the veto.
They might have, but we're gonna see a brawl over on A, and it's not gonna amount to much, but now that intel has been gathered, and for Sizzle, you gotta make a big push here. Or for Crimson, you're gonna make a big push, but Sizzle, you gotta make a good defense here. 1-10 is a scoreline you don't want to be at. 1-11 if this round goes the other way.
Not again.
Risky.
Not again. Leon is sneaking again. This time he is caught, but the problem is there's still a player in that position. The ill-harbored, ill-natured door hold. Well, they're gonna open the door. Disorder has to be careful as Chaos on the A side. The Fury has been used and they are hunting them down. All 3 kills are handed over on a platter and is down to Externo and Maki's. Try to save that one. Spike planted, door closed.
Spike
And not a lot
planted.
of chances left. Malkies could have found the angle, but now has to jump in a very tough spot. And look at the rotation, by the way. That's the important thing. YDC is going to play for mid, and that's a lot of time being used. This order pretty low. Manages to have the gun, and somehow he wins that duel, and he turns to external as well. Okay, I feel like if there was ever a chance,
Sides.
maybe now they've definitely mental boomed enough. Because this game has been very rough on Sizzle.
Yeah, the mental's not. It can't be there. The mental cannot be there for Sizzle. I mean, kudos to them if they're still keeping their cool in this, but I can tell you right now, most people in this situation down 1-11 would be feeling a little bit salty. Just maybe a little bit. And that is risky because you need to win this round. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you lose this pistol, if you're Sizzle, you have a less than 50% chance of winning the next round. Even if you force up, like it's not gonna end up well.
Hey, Ansel, I'm just gonna be real. They have a less than 5% chance of winning any further rounds. It's just 2 rounds remaining here for the side of NMSU, and already look at how quick the rotations are in comparison to Sizzle, and they harbor the hold. And oh
Great
my
base.
god! Like, look,
Wow.
it's the sheriff. It's the sheriff Viper, and she's just spraying them down, peppering them with bullets, and nothing is stopping them. More duels this time, finally. Being punished was just as I say that. Look at the flank. It's easy for Nurker, easier even for Lion. And well,
12 to 1.
point. Yeah, I don't
12
know.
to 1
Yeah.
on the end of a pistol round is the worst position to be in Valorant. Because at least if you're 12-0, right, you have a chance to win the pistol and start that economy, but 12-1 off the back of a economy loss, the advantage is firmly in Crimson's
Yeah.
court. They've got Vandals, they've got Guardians, they've got Spectres, and the most that Sizzle can gather up is a Marshall and 3 Stingers with a
4
Sheriff.
now. Yeah.
A 4 Stingers and a Sheriff. And they're going to be going into this B site, going to be going into these Cypher trips. You know what's also really handy with Cypher trips? A Spectre. That's a deadly
no.
combination, and they make the great read to not go into that. But it's going to be
gonna be
all about this
disastrous.
brawl in mid here.
Yeah, it's gonna be disastrous. I think it's over here. I think this is the game. Right then and there. First goal to be found. The last hurrah, the coup de grace
One enemy.
will be delivered. It's all down to external. 7 kills for him, and well, there might be a universe where he's gonna make it an ace, but not this time.
Defenders
13 to 1. And New Mexico is ushering a new era on this play-in. So I think this is probably gonna be the most dominant results that we're gonna see today.
That was a beatdown,
Mm-hmm.
to say the least.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, it was complete shutdowns. Crimson had the read for everything that Sizzle wanted to do. With Sizzle, the only round they win is off the back of a great play from the Cypher. Reading into the KO ult, you know, doing that great. I'm going to play back. I'm going to play off my trips. And that's the only way they could get around. That Crimson doing that on the attack half. I wanted to see what Crimson would have on this defense. No, they're a very good, strong team on the defense, but we didn't even get a chance to see that because Crimson absolutely destroyed. And I don't use that term lightly. They destroyed Sizzle.
Yeah, unfortunately for Sizzle, really, it wasn't really a good cook. They got fried at the end of that one, and well, you know, you gotta hand your kudos though to NMSU because that was quite a performance. I was especially impressed by YDC there on the KO. But at the end, he tallied 14 kills and 18 assists in that game. Like, that's the scoreline. Like, you just look at the kills and the assists and only 4 deaths. That is textbook KO. This is exactly how I want to play an initiator.
Precisely. All about, I mean, 18 assists, crazy, yes. 14 kills as well. Definitely pulling their weight. Compare that, I mean, to say the amount of shutdown that Crimson had is that Exerno, their top frag, was only able to end up with an 8-12 scoreline.
Yeah.
That level of denial is something that needs to be studied.
Well, I mean, we have time to study because it was a very short game, and you know, GG's to everybody that has participated. But unfortunately for Sizzle, their journey will end here in this season of Titans of Tier 3. We still have one more game that will be between NMSU and the winner of the opposite game on the other side of the bracket. It's going to be a long break, guys. And, well, I think we should be back 8 on the clock. So, see you until then. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, the headline homies, or the hairline homies, since, I don't know, like, it was quite a wild game right there at the start. But we still have a fun game on our hands as well, because it was Cataclysm that did emerge victorious against the Rise Academy here. And this is for qualification. Like, it's a whole lot to write for, and we do have the map in mind. It's gonna be Bind to kick us off, and hey, it's not Breeze, so I'm happy, at least on my end.
When you told me that you were gonna poke fun at the beginning, I did not think you would be calling us the hairline homies.
Yeah.
That killed me. I'm sorry. Oh, that was good. Anyways, We've got an amazing map. I mean, both these teams just absolutely stomped their opponents. We heard that Cataclysm Gaming just got a 13-4, and we just watched Crimson get a 13-1. So both these teams, I mean, we should be seeing a good game on our hands. Hopefully.
Pretty sure
the last map went. It's never a guarantee, but I think combined, this map, a lot of variety. You know, it isn't your sense. You know, you're going to see a lot of different things on it.
Well, let's see. We do have the Asian select ready, and we're kicking things off, and well, that's not a whole lot of variety. It's still the
Come on, Tony, guys. Sky is out of here. Sky's out. Sky's out the meta, guys. Guys, all about Fade and KO and Gecko.
Coping.
Come on, guys.
They're
Gecko.
coping.
I'm coping. Anyways.
No, they are. You're right.
They are.
Why are we playing Sky
adapting
again?
and switching when Sky has been played so much, you kind of get used to playing Sky. You know what I mean? You have that team comp. Gecko is a little bit different, right? Gecko needs a little bit more adapting because you got to go move to where your blind dropped sometimes, or you got to work on more ult management because that ult is absolutely disgusting. And also, you don't have a heal. Right? There's a bunch of different things here that it kind of makes the difference when you get into it. So a lot of teams at all tiers right now, we're currently just sticking with what they know, right? Especially on a map like Bind. But I'm a little bit disappointed to be seeing the mirror cores, but we're actually going to be seeing no raise instead of Jet off the side of Cataclysm, which is a very interesting choice. We tend to see the raise here, that explosiveness getting into sights is almost pivotal here, and Showstopper is an amazing ult. We all know that.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing ult, but will have to be a quick game here, and I like the explosive start here actually from the attacking side. No, you control the showers, you play around the map, but the problem is Nian already found 2 frags and the spike out here.
9 getting 2 there. Sorry. But we're seeing on the map, it looks like the members of Cataclysm are all over the place. Grimmer, the back line here, pushing up to heaven. And meanwhile, all the members of Crimson are pushing into short, into this cubby. They're pinched, and they're gonna take the teleporter out, and they're gonna go B. And yeah, the members are rotating, but we're gonna be seeing a 3-1 pinch. The only member in this back is gonna be Grimmer. In the front here, in that CTs, and it's gonna be a triple flank. Interesting round so far.
Yeah, indeed. I like the rotation, but we played Ring Around a Rosie for a hot minute, so time to bring it back to the normal roles that you expect in a game of Valorant. And well, that single smoke has indeed been used. Space is created, but how much can they do with it? They already cleared most of the side, so they know that they're on the extremities. Elbow's gonna be explosive, and Leon is gonna win that duel too for him on a classic Muffin Man. He's able to trade just a single kill. Grimmer, great work off to kick us off, but the problem is the time has gone too far down, and Dector tucked in deep and comfortable. Even if you get that kill, the round will still go to New Mexico.
Good job, both teams here. Cataclysm did get those picks. Absolutely great coming out from Cataclysm, but meanwhile, a great stall coming out from Crimson. So if you want to know how this map is going to go, it's going to be very back and forth, if you can already tell from that round. But I mean, that was a really weird, interesting round. Somehow the attackers managed to get control of A, but they were sandwiched in between the defenders, and then they decided to take that and pivot to B, where they're pinched yet again. Interesting. Everything happened that round, and it's just kind of things that happen in this wonderful game we call Valorant.
Yeah, a lot of play right here. Again, focus on short. Looks like this is their strong side for the time being, but the problem is it's a very close range duel. But NMSU, well, they got the reins of the side, but can they get the reins of the Muffin Man? Right here, deep in the lamps, he's pushed out, he's flashed, he's corralled, and he still gets one with a classic. Doubt he can do a lot more. But I'm up to be surprised. 6 bullets still in that chamber. How much can they do with the pistols? Damage, but no kills as of yet. And it looks like it will continue to be that case. Because Muffin Man. Well, looks like we have a couple of hungry boys here. So he better be ready to run. Locked in. The
that
spike is gonna
molly.
explode. And yeah, exactly. The Molotov. It's just
That cuts him
deadly.
off from being even remotely able to defuse this spike here. And the rest of the members going to line up, take him out. That's a near flawless round coming out from the side of Crimson. And that's what you want in these rounds. You don't want to lose guns. You want to make sure you keep as many guns as possible over the next round. And a great job from them. But we're going to be seeing the rifles coming out from Cataclysm. And it's going to be about how they can turn this around. If they can get all 5 here, absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
And win the
but it's
round,
not gonna be that
absolutely
easy,
great.
though. That's the main thing. I'm looking at a lot of right armors, and on the opposite side, Dector has a Vandal and that Bulldog. It's gonna be a 2-shot kill if he lands one on the head.
Which, I mean, with the burst of the right click, you know, not entirely out of the... I will always say it, the TTK of the Bulldog is actually kind of crazy sometimes. That thing, you never know when it can just take out a team of 5. But here we go. We're seeing some B long aggression. Here comes the dog. Oh, Dector
no.
peeking off
cut
the
off.
dog there.
Yeah, I like the play from the end, though. He definitely lost some time, but the problem is that's a long rotate, and that means that IGA is all alone. And the Sky has to go back a rotation. And remember, his disadvantage will finally be made, but a lot of space handed over, and sure, there's a bonus. But remember, they picked up a second rifle here. So 2 rifles, still that Bulldog in disorder. Looking to fight some space here with that Spectre, deadly at close range. But so can the Vandal be. Well, here they come, and the Sheriff. 1-shot headshot, disorder.
Enemy remaining.
He's bringing the reins down. And it will be the order of his NMSU. Seems to be running out. Well,
Getting that
nobody can
round.
stop them.
Oh, 1 pick. That's great here. If he can get another one, that would be absolutely fantastic. There's the second. He's going to keep running back, but all the members keep coming forward. Not able to get the rifle saved, but 2 picks there. That's okay. You know, not certainly the best it could be. Repping the Leviathan classic, okay? But losing the bonus is
It's
not
brutal.
fun
Yeah.
as the team with the rifles. And now you gotta be worried, like, the 4th round should be very easy for the members of Crimson. Are we going to be seeing this game get out of the hands? Is it gonna, like, slip through the cracks? So that's really looking like what's happening.
Yeah, well, it definitely could happen, but for now, I like the switch here from Cataclysm. They realize, hey, short is not an easy option. Let's play showers. It's better for the close range guns. Well, the Phantom does wonders in that kind of engagement, and then all the rifles. Like Muffin Man getting that kill is just a consolation at this point. Because you look at Grimmer there. There's no real way that that Stinger is going to do anything in that round. Maybe Bang will be able to find a shot. Well, nope. Bang to the head. And this should be it. The Stinger here. I don't know. Do you really want to save a Stinger? I probably disagree. I would probably say no.
No,
at the
but you
same
want to get
time,
these
yeah,
picked
we're gonna
right
have to
here.
counter.
This spy cam dart. That's vicious. You know, if that dart didn't land, if that camera wasn't put in, his chance, you know, Stinger can get 1-2 pretty easy. But a good timeout coming out from the side of Cataclysm. You need to slow this down. The brakes are on. You know, the
Yeah,
train
so-
currently for the side of Crimson is running hot. The coals are active, and you know, you need to stop this before it gets out of hand. You need to take a
Absolutely.
step back, a step back, and be like, "Hey, how are we losing these rounds? We're getting run over on sight. We're not making these retakes.
Mhm.
What can we do to adapt?" And that's what's going to be being discussed here. Maybe they play more a bit back and play for retakes here, because it does look like Crimson is kind of just rolling them over on sites.
Yeah, and I feel like it definitely all comes down to the way that you approach bind, which has always been, well, the side you have 3 members on, you at least try to contest one of the 2 entries. Like on the pistol round, for example, we've seen them contest shorts very heavily. They got that spike. But the main issue for me with Cataclysm is they lose that collapse afterwards. You know, like you gain showers, but they get short. And from short, they are able to collapse on you at showers, and you don't really have a lot of space to fight that one back. And sure, I understand that on the pistol, and I also understand that it was just this one piece of the dominoes, which was Muffin Man trying to go out to clear the dog while being a bit complacent of maybe somebody actually holding that Sky Dog. So hopefully things change here, because it's going to be a big round for Cataclysm, but the problem is nothing has changed indeed. It is NMSU, and they are still running rampant in this game.
Putting 9 up there without an op, I don't think something you really want to do here. Dexter's been hitting nasty shots, and you never know if you're going to win that 50-50, but a great pick from Disorder, but Bang able to get 2 there. Able to equalize things. Okay. Bang with a 3K, Bang with a 4K. All right, Bang, you keep going. YDC with another, but Muffin Man's going to clean that up, and I didn't even get to hand it over because that was a quick round from Bang.
Yeah, that was extremely dominant as well. We were just talking about how Nian wasn't really able to do a whole lot of that early part, but well, fortunately for Bang, that was enough util. That was most of the util used, and he definitely did feel that after using the molly, after using the snake bites, they were definitely exhausted in trying to get them out. And this is right there. That was a Sky nerf. If it was the last patch, maybe Sky would have had one of her flashes regen. So they don't have that option right now. And Cataclysm seems to be limiting the options yet further. YDC caught on the side, but with how deep this pick goes, yeah, no options here. And even Grimmer with a great entry. And this is going to be a problem for them because they don't even know if the players here on that pit are willing to push them back. So you have to watch your back. You hear the rotations, and YDC here, he's going to be also important information as they're going back to that A site.
And, you know, with that Cypher going down, you never know. In the wall a little bit. Funny thing about Valorant maps, sometimes you're in the walls. But, you know, when we talk about, oh, that's a showstopper. Hold up, I might, oh, nothing off the back. But trying to clear out that Viper sped, showstopper, a great tool to do that since its AoE is really large. You typically find the Viper, but Grimmer getting another pick. But I wanted to say with the Cypher going down there, the members of Crimson have to worry about getting flanked, but Grimmer with 4 on this round. And we're seeing these rounds starting getting converted. The timeout was great, but also what's been absolutely fantastic is the individual performance of the members here.
Yeah, the individual performance has definitely been what I expected. As mind you, I've seen this Cataclysm before. I'm a big fan of the players. They're cool people, and you know what? I wish them the best. NMSU, they're the team that this is my first time watching them, and honestly, I was impressed by YDC on the initiators. Maybe not so much on the Viper, and that's the problem with playing a map like Bind, because while you could actually go for a new hotness as a double initiator, them going for that Viper, which I feel is a necessity sometimes, can limit you. And it seems like it has here because YDC has been much more quiet.
Much more quiet, but indeed, oh, Disorder getting picked off by Bang. Bang's been having an absolutely fantastic performance this game. Bang and Grimmer both. That's probably what's going to be needed to get back in. Getting those swing rounds where both teams don't have the best of economies, that allows you to get that firm advantage here, but it looks like it's going to be a brawl over short, but that's a real distraction here for what's actually going on, and that is a B long push.
Oh, 2 players on elbow here. Especially with Bang being present. Maybe a defensive wall, maybe any lineup, because you look at the Brimstone, it's already there as well, and the Recon is gonna detect the rays, so they must know that there has to be something cooking towards that garden. They have 30 seconds left, and Showers is open, so That could be an option, could be a play. It all depends on YDC, and he spots 2 players here towards shore, but unable to dispatch either. So it will be the commitment towards B. Dector down to 70 health. Here comes the rotation. Shots to the smoke. Well, they're over the strike. Will deny the spike plan for the time being. They have to do it right now, and they're pushing themselves in. Leon. That's a big kill to find on the Muffin Man. That's the Brimstone Owl, but that's the rest of Cataclysm. Storming the site. It's all down to the Brim and Leon. He's found 2. All down to Grimmer. No util for Leon. That's it. It's him and his glowing gun of his. But the problem is Grimmer is taking too long. He has the idea, but the problem is he also has to clear the rest of the site. Time is going to be of the issue here. And Grimmer, well, now you know. Nobody's at elbow. It's halved. You know where he is. And, well, Leon does not shoot. You can take that duel down to 70 points of health. All you need is 2 bullets to the body, but just 1 to be delivered. Leon clutches up with a 4K.
What a devastating clutch there for the side of Cataclysm Gaming. Just not what you want to end up in a great plant position. I want to acknowledge that little plant position because it's not one you commonly see. Crimson planning the back for CT there behind because they knew that there were members in elbow, and if they planted default or maybe in like left side of tube or heck even plant right side or middle, you have a chance to just get swung on from elbow, and that would be a great position for Cataclysm to be in. So instead they plant around the back where they might not be able to play lineups or anything, but they are able to take control of CT and start playing from there. So great round, great plan position from the side of Crimson. But that was last round. We're going to be getting into this round. We see a little bit of a broken by 9 on the Jet on knives and nothing now as they have been taken out of the lobby from a clean shot.
Yeah, clean shot there, but Nian also caught with his hands off, and IJ still finding a kill. Judge in the pit. This is the most deadly combination that you can ever have. Luckily for them, no Seekers to disrupt this any further. But bang, he has been stellar. But you gotta wonder how much can he do with him being that low? Well, he actually gets the piss down. Disorder does trade, and he gets himself the information with a Neuro Theft. But can they steal a pick or 2? With that extra bit of information that they have, because the Muffin Man is active. It's down to a 2-on-2. Again, time is still of the essence. And Grimmer has to clear that angle. Judge just goes by. You need to be perfect, and Grimmer will be. Down to the last player, but a wooden box is too close to comfort and Lunar. It will be a new moon, and it will be a new era as light shines down on Cataclysm.
3 seconds left. You wonder what it could have been if the stall was longer, but a great job from Cataclysm. Disorder with that Judge. A Judge in a pit. Ooh, that's never a fun thing to get into.
Yeah.
But they able to take out the pick with a great pick from Bang. And that forces, you know, the rest of, you know, when you have those positions in the pit, you don't really expect it to just go all of a sudden down. So the team has to scramble into less than optimal positions, and a great punish on that from Cataclysm. Put Crimson on the back foot. Marshall and 4 pistols.
Yeah, it's not gonna be fun.
Still a scary buy. I mean, those side shots from the Sheriffs could absolutely devastate, but not the scariest thing you're going into. But what is scary here is we're actually going to be seeing a big B push coming out. Grimmer managing to take a YDC over in lamps.
Yeah, but I love the denial, by the way, from the other side. The problem is you have to dash back in the end. Out to safety, IJ. That's a good double, but that's also a Vandal. Hand delivered towards the attacking side. Will I say that? But look at where it is. It's actually out in the open. So it's not going to be the easiest of pickups here, especially with it being smoked off. Great play from Cataclysm. I love this. They know what the other side needs to win, and this Vandal can indeed be that piece that, well, speaking of pieces, Grimmer is piece 1 and 1 together. He's found that kill. Trigonometry, baby. And bang, will close that one off. So it started off pretty good for the side of NMSU, but Cataclysm seems to be back in full force, and this time, it is the collegiate team that is actually putting out the timeout.
NMSU, they again, once momentum starts happening, you want to stop, put on the brakes. If you're a coach or you're starting your premier team, whatever, just keep in mind that when things, don't try to save your timeout for the perfect, oh, this is it after a save round, perfect time to switch up the momentum. Don't keep that thing in your back pocket for too long. Pop it before the half breaks. Pop it once they start getting 3 or 4 rounds together, because you never know whether that could just be a bunch of fluked rounds or it could have been the momentum starting to pull up. And you want to halt whatever momentum your enemy gets, and you need to kind of reset yours, because you got all that negative energy that happens when you lose a bunch of rounds in a row. When you call that timeout, you're able to talk things through, breathe, figure out what's wrong, and come back in fresh.
Yeah, well, here's what's coming in fresh in this round, since the timeout has indeed been over. 2 ultimates for Cataclysm, but I look on the opposite side, and well, it's pretty much as good as a buy as you can get. You got your full set, you got your Vandals, you got your Phantoms, and I think that there might be a chance because they've picked the right part of the map here. They are all going towards showers. Just Bang there, and he will have to give that one up. So a deep orb, but it doesn't really do a whole lot for Cataclysm. That's a bit of lost util, and they use the Hunter's Fury trying to scout him out. And well, Bang is going to capitalize upon that great play from CG, despite losing Bang, because they continue to fight, they continue to push, and with Muffin Man in the TP, gonna be a living hell for the players coming in from shore. They are indeed spotted by the Seekers, and well, it's the pistol round all over again, but this time, CG has wisened up. They still have a player in the sight, and they are continuing to push. I love this movement from Grimmer. It's all about the build-up. I'm pretty sure that they were anticipating a player. But with them clearing all these angles, maybe Grimmer has the angle, not to deny the plant, but to find a frag. Player comes into his crosshair, but it's a big... NMSU, now they have a chance. It's a 3-on-3. They're trying to log themselves in.
At the very least, that is intel. The first Molly goes down here. And Disorder with 2 more. Absolutely pivotal picks. It's all left up to Muffin Man.
Yeah, Muffin is sniped down. And why do you see there? Great shot to the head. So the half is indeed tied up. Fortunately for Cataclysm, their economy does mean that they can afford another buy. But with all these ultimates invested, now you look at the ultimate economy. And well, round 11 and 12, they should lean more actually in the favor of NMSU. They're closer to things like the orbital, 1 away from the neural theft, 2 away from the showstopper. Sure, the pit is not gonna come on, but everything else is definitely within reach. And well, they're trying to reach for it. Last time it was Bang, this time it's the other controller, but Muffin Man holding strong and maybe holding on for dear life. IJ still find that kill. So Cataclysm starts off well again, but can they convert for this time of asking?
I mean, a great first blood here. Getting the smokes down onto the attacking team is absolutely fantastic there, but a great flag.
Oh wait, look at the Viper.
But there's another one up top. Power of that Viper wall. YDC going to be using that to grab another, but now it's a big brawl over A short. Come on. Doji, close things up.
IJ, man, that transfer right there on that 4th frag. That is disgusting. Okay, Cataclysm. I see what you're cooking. And honestly, I love what they're delivering here on this map, but the main concern is, I feel like if you actually play for the default in this round, despite NMSU being down in terms of firepower, because you look at Dector, look at YDC, these are 2 weaker guns, even Lunar, just in the Bulldogs. If they get those 2 orbs, suddenly they have 3 ultimates playing into this round.
Suddenly they will indeed, Leon, hiding from that dart, but I'm looking at this round, I'm looking a little bit slower on the side of Crimson. That is what's needed, but on the other side, I mean, we see some very forward control here from Nyan and Muffin and A, and from the Viper and Sova at B, and Bang able to grab 1 on the left on B, and Muffin able to grab 1 on the right. It's back and forth on both these players.
Yeah, back and forth it is, but Dector does have the satchels, but with just a stinger, it should be impossible. But the problem is, Grimmer is pincered right now. He has to divert his attention eventually towards that part of the map, but maybe Lunar did give him the heads up needed. Trying to isolate those duels is going to be pretty hard, so he TPs and ducks away. He got the spike and they got the guns. It might be smart for his own life, but this might be enough for the attack inside here. NMSU, they're walking themselves in. Muffin Man is playing pretty passive. I like the denial, and it will come in the nick of time. You're limiting the other team options. The stun is good, and the orbital means it should be a confirmed kill, but actually no. Wait, they don't line it up right, and Dector get that kill. That's a showstopper. And suddenly the round might still hang in the balance. Dector is able to escape away after being revealed. Muffin Man is getting that kill, but a spike is planted. Dector has a chance trying to line it up, but the problem is too many players at hand. And IJ is able to find that last frag. So at the end of that half, we started off pretty hot. It was 4 in a row for NMSU. We end up at parity.
I mean, 6-6. What a wonderful half for both these teams. But you got to think the momentum's a bit more on Cataclysm side. But Counter, I want to talk about that previous round just a little bit more, because that Molly ult combination, while it didn't fully hit, it forced the members of Crimson, it forced Lunar to play in a really weird, awkward spot, which had a lot of space for the defenders to defuse while in two. Right, it's one of the more inopportune things. It's not a full in-two, but with that beautiful smoke that that covers the other side, you never know where your opponent is going to be.
Careful here though, because it is the side of NMSU trying to make a quick play. Bang surviving for the time being. 47 points of health. Has to escape, but Lunar. Marksmanship. Great shot to the head. That's the kill. That's the orb, and the Skies already has made strides. IJ is also trying to make strides, but now they know where the rest of Cataclysm is. The exact same play that we've seen from the other side on their own pistol. Spike will be planted. They look at the remaining members of the side of NMSU. They are looming. Muffin, the good first. They have to be careful. Smoke fades. They can take everything with it, but Disorder able to instill some peace towards the elbow. 3-on-4 time. Definitely in the advantage of CG, and with that kill from Grimmer, they have a new angle they can play from. The side itself is clear. Time is halfway through. They need to get their move on. They know there are players in guard, and Disorder there with the camera. Gonna open up some space with the jet, but it's a good first shot. Good second shot as well. And Lunar wraps up the last one from the hookah, and that will be enough. Pistol round for the second time in this game does go to NMSU.
Absolutely spectacular round coming out from the side of Crimson. I mean, a great way to get back in, a great retake there coming out. And you got to think that that's what you need in these rounds. You need that pistol. You need to get this advantage, because you know that Crimson is caused them to come back in these halves. And Crimson, on the other hand, got a really good job of getting plant down and getting forward. But Disorder absolutely great, punishes the over peek from the sky and then goes into the smoke and grabs two. Great play by Disorder, but we're seeing instead a quick tempo change as CG is going to run it down into hookah.
Yeah, and I like the attempt. I really understand the idea, especially considering that CG are force blank into that one. So you would definitely prefer places like hookah and showers to make these plays onwards. But they've been caught, rotations are made, and you look at the other side, man, it's a 3-side crossfire here between the Viper and the site, or in hookah rather. And the rest of the team, but the problem is they might be caught in NMSU. They need to trade, and they do. Disorder gets that frag, paint shells as well. Pushes them back even further. So I like that they get the frag, but the main problem is they didn't get the gun behind it. They are still on those stingers, and they're going back towards that A site. They have the Viper wall there. They have the util. Can push them in the slide, but after it goes down, it's a single flash from IJ. And this is all they have. They still actually have an incendiary as well. Didn't pick up on that. But will it be enough? Because the spike is planted and it's going to be a very tough 40 seconds on them. Because all 4 defenders are here on the side. They're trying to approach. Leon has already been caught. Every bit of damage is going to be an instant. This guy is here, but Grimmer sneaks himself through. IJ finds that kill. Trade from Lunar. 2 on 2. Time in their favor. They're separated those duels. But they need to be very careful. It's just a tab. They walk into peek it. Leon wins that duel. He's low, but he's still alive. Need to take your time with the stick coming in. It's easy stick, but it's denied and bang! He picks 2 shots to the head.
Great.
Explosive from the Viper.
Great round coming out from the Viper, and a great round for Cataclysm to win there. Winning to that Thrifty is pivotal here. Now you put the economy of of Crimson in a pretty bad spot there.
Yeah.
And you know, that's not good, because when you lose that second round, it's not good, because you spend so much to win that round, right? And then you go all 5 down. But a great pick from Bang straight from the start of the round, punishing aggression coming out from A short.
Yeah, you just look at it and you know it's clean, man. A good play from Cataclysm, honestly, here, Anzo. They got their corners covered. They're doing their homework, but the problem is there's still a player that they have no idea about right there in Hookah on support. It's coming on as well. In the end, there are players coming in from the spawn, and they know that Hookah will be a problem. But if Disorder gets a kill here, this can flip a switch, but it's Bang again. Good place, good time. And it's pretty difficult here on the opposite side. Honestly, we definitely didn't anticipate that, given the firepower advantage you were talking about. But now with the rifle in hand, I'm just slightly startled to the fact that they actually went for it and said, I would have rather just saved that Phantom and walk away with it at least.
Save that Phantom, but you didn't really buy much into that round. That Phantom was picked up off the ground.
Yeah.
And a beautiful double swing coming out there at the end. Sometimes, you know, while, yeah, getting that Phantom saved would be nice, and getting the additional 1k creds on top of it is nice, but sometimes you just want to go for the round. It is a round you were supposed to lose anyways. So shripping, especially because the more kills you get on that round, since it is that round where the enemy team is buying up. Right, well, it is their anti-eco. They're buying as much as they can right there, but an aggressive showers play coming on. It's going to cut me off here. Sometimes going for that instead of saving. If you could get 2 picks there in that situation, you get much more value than if you would have saved. So yeah, I think that's why the call was made there, to not save that Phantom. But after that initial scuffle right now, it looks like things have slowed down massively.
Yeah, and I understand that, because honestly, look at the end now. He's pretty low. Sure, he's been healed back up by the sky. But that also did cost the side of NMSU a whole lot. Like, you consider they used that paint shells, they used a lot of snake bites, they even kept their sky there. And I understand the play that they're making is actually great. We've seen NMSU do that same play. But the problem is you walk into a Viper and it takes you quite a while to actually walk through. So it's not going to be an easy rotation, especially with the Cypher as well being there, but the damage is great. The Trips did their job, and the Shock Darts did their job as well. YDC finding that first stray from the Muffin Man. If they try to walk into that side, it's not an easy task from Leon, but is he up to the task? It looks like the answer will unfortunately be a -1. Dector still alive. Backup in the form of Lunar. But how much can they do in a 2v4? They're trying to wait for mistakes to be done, but no mistakes there from IJ. That was a perfect swing. And Lunar, well, this might be the time that I would be... Okay, yeah, just go for the save, but on 10 health, with them watching your every angle, there is nowhere that you can go. And Cataclysm, off of losing that pistol, he talked about how good that second round was and how impactful it was, and well, now we're seeing it pay off. 3 rounds in a row for Cataclysm and a timeout for the CT side, or the defender side.
Again, calling this timeout right there. Great job. Great time to call it, but that round was just cleanup duty, it felt like.
Yeah.
Cataclysm did not let a single... I think they let one person fall, but it was just overall so very clean. Great pushes that happened throughout that round. And again, once early on, you're gonna get trampled here if you're Crimson. So they're gonna call this timeout. They're gonna figure out what exactly is going wrong. While they might be calling this on a save round, so you might not be seeing the fruits of their labor just quite yet. I say that there might be a couple rifles. They do have a couple members who could technically buy into this round, but
Yeah.
not really the most worth it. But you go into this round, maybe they're thinking of their eco strat, but most likely what they're thinking of is after this eco round, how are they going to adapt on these gun rounds?
Yeah,
And
well,
so
absolutely.
we'll see. We won't be able to see the fruits of this timeout just yet, but I'm excited to see what they've got in store after this round.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the important thing because, as you said, the timeout wasn't taken in a gun round, which was a bit baffling to me. I thought that they actually might wait for the gun round and then take that timeout. Because you look at it, it's 4 rounds in a row. Cataclysm won the gun round. They definitely should win this one. But, you know, you can still never rule a couple of sheriffs out. I'm from the region that I know sheriffs are as deadly, if not even a bit more deadly than guns in the right circumstances. And maybe this is the opportune circumstance because look at that kind of stack. 3 players already decked. First one in. Information relayed. But are they ready for the rest? The Brim is going to be easy pick, and Zunar as well is not going to have a chance to fight back. And, well, I said it might be a difficult one, but they proved me wrong. It's an easy take here for Cataclysm.
A decently easy take indeed, but we have YDC on this flank. Muffin Man is watching, and the Muffin Man is going to win that there. And now you've got probably what could have been a very pivotal pinch. It's going to be turning to a pretty lackluster take from Heaven. So kind of risky. They're going to have to go for this or at least die to spike, but maybe they're going to be going for these exits here, and that's going to look like what is actually going to happen. They're going to go for the exits, which probably won't mean anything as all the members of CG are all the way in short. They'll be exiting safely. So a great flawless round coming out on the side of Cataclysm, and that's what you need. 10-7. Now let's see what that timeout that Crimson called is really, how is that going to play in?
You know, I already can see some of the pieces, Hanzo. I don't know about you, but I look at the Neural Theft, I look at the Seekers, 1 away from the Orbital Strike, 1 away from the Pit. So options are plenty, but you also have to look at the opposite side here because I also look at Cataclysm. And sure, you might be coming in with a plan, but I feel like a Hunter's Fury and an Orbital Strike, that's a combo that can just stop it right in the tracks.
Yes, it is. That's a really a good combo here, but Sky is going to trade utility here in that beginning. It's going to be a brawl for this B side, it looks like. And I think that was to try to take out the camera there.
Yeah,
the cyber
it was.
player here, it didn't, but that camera is up on those little posts there, and you can see all, I don't think it can physically send tags, but it can see all of B main if it's placed high enough.
Yeah, but it's not there actually because you really just looked at it. It's looking at the side itself. It's a bit more defensive, and I like the defensive posture because you know that the other team has already made a timeout. You probably still have a plan, and well, this plan is about to come into fruition right now. The execute is on Cataclysm. Unfortunately for them, walked into the right part, or wrong part of the map is the right part here. If you're a fan of NMSU and you got off the good start here, the teleport has come in. It's YDC again. That will have to take care of the rest of the business. Bang is down. Grimmer is walking straight through. They TP'd back into that A site. And YDC gonna hold it for the time being. Just IJ that's left. Him and Muffin Man are trying to do anything, and well, just down to the good old Brimstone. And unfortunately for that old dog, looks like the new kids of the block seems to be able to teach him a trick or two, but he still got some kicking in himself. You know, he still got that kill. It's 10-8, so I like the recovery from NMSU, but they still have a few more ultimates and a few more hurdles before I can clearly say they're definitely back in the game.
Right here.
What they're gonna have to deal with right now is that orbital shrink, and what possibly could be if Crimson play for it is that Viper Spit.
Yep.
Two insane ultimates that are about to be called, but we might see a Viper Spit come out this round. It will come out in short there, cutting that avenue off. If they want to go A, they're gonna probably have to go through showers if you're Cataclysm. And a good response to this Viper Spit by the defending team themselves, Crimson, as they've stacked B as well. So despite what site they go, it's going to be hard, but I'm looking at B and there's no Cypher utility, so they seem to really want to lock down A there.
Well, that's a big problem for Cataclysm because you really needed that Sky for the take if you're gonna go to B, but now IJ down to 26 and he's just frozen. Like he's threatened right now, you know. That's a wild shot to the head. Right there by Leon. Dector still present in the side. Primed is the tailwind. And an exec might come in, but it's another 3-man stack towards B. I feel like Cataclysm is definitely falling into that trap where they're not really maneuvering and they're not tangoing with the defense. They're just trying to brute force their way in. And that is allowing NMSU here
30 seconds left.
to put themselves in a good spot. Orbital strike towards Lambs, but one small
fake.
problem. It's all the rules, and they know it. And they know it. That's the main concern. They know it's a fake. Niendo able to find one. Leona's gonna find IJ, but the take is going on well. Lunar could have shut that one down, but Grimmer will be the hero for the rescue. They need to plant the spike. 8 seconds left. They will get it down 2-on-2. No pit, but Disorder is close by. YDC even closer. Spots him towards the back. Is down to the end. He started off the round and he needs to finish that one off. 10 points of health. Phantom in the head is just a single mistake, and guess what? It's not a mistake. It's a great play from YDC, and the gap has dwindled. Started off pretty well, but this timeout is being paid in dividends. 2 rounds now for the defense, and the gap is close to just a single round yet again.
But you know, the economy of Crimson is not the best right now, and a great time to call this timeout. This is a very pivotal round here. If you win this round, the credits are not on the side of Crimson to really keep buying. So Cataclysm, they want to take this timeout. It's going to be a risky buy for them, and they want to make sure they win this. This is the swing round. This is all the marbles are in the bag. If they win this round, they're on a clear shot to a 12.
Yep.
Maybe even, you know, the series. But if they lose this, Crimson are going to be able to tie things up and possibly even get to that 11 mark, 12 mark, and be put.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to get put in that position if you're Crimson, especially because this is a best of one. This is for all the marbles.
Yeah, qualification is guaranteed here. The finals is just merely for the seeding. And sure, it's gonna screw you over if you lose the seeding game, because then you'll be the lowest seeded team heading into that playoffs. But look at the rest of it, and you have got to consider. As he said, this is a very high tension round between the two sides. Economies are fickle. And there's an ultimate on either side. You see the pit, but that pit is predicated upon Cataclysm being able to get in the site. Meanwhile, Leon can deny that pit just by the mere presence of that orbital strike. So it's a big problem here for CG. They will have to fight their way through it. I like that they're taking it slow. I like that they're playing towards showers, but please, for the love of God, guys, just don't brute force it. Every time we try to brute force a site, it's ended in disaster. I like it when they're free-flowing. I like it when they go back and forth, but looks like that this isn't an option. It's just gonna go straight through A again.
Straight through A again here. Going through that spam jet tag double, but that's a lot of forward space gained by 9.
Oh, they know why they see. They know where he is, but he still gets that frag. And that's gonna be massive because look at the ultimate, the orbital strike. Push the Viper out. Thankfully for Bang, he still remains alive, but only on 40 points of health. Dexter finds the pit, is down. IJ will find that kill in return, but it's all coming back and forth. Hated
Great-
exchange. And
Great play. Great play in that pit, and they're gonna re-rotating immediately over. It looked like it was gonna be a double pump fake coming out, but a mid-round call to actually switch it up here. There are no mollies on the side of Muffin Man, but 2 shocks available for Grimmer here. Going into this post plant, we'll make that 1 here as Lunar's gonna try to get in things quick. No birds left. It's gonna be tough, but both members are in along here, so there is a chance.
Oh, but the Fury is used. So Grimmer has bought a bit of time. And that's great for him because he's pretty low. He still has the recon, by the way. But they will still get that frag nonetheless. An important round. They invested a whole lot into that one, but they're just 1 step closer. 11 rounds. You look at the economy of the other side, and yeah, it's going to be very stressful. They're able to afford those 3 rifles. Going to be light armor for Leon, and this order only on a Spectre. So forced everything into that one. They're just throwing everything in the kitchen sink towards Cataclysm, and it's gonna be a question of whether or not that is enough in this round.
And you need us to be enough because you're forcing so much into this round. You're gonna be broken on match point. Again, one of those very poor situations to be in. Typically, a lot of times you'll see teams actually kind of save if they're going to be going into the match point round, because you don't want to fight a 12, right? You don't want to fight match point with sheriffs.
Yeah.
But this is still a decent point because if they do win this round in particular, they do, stave off that match point and keep things at a 1 round scoreline. But in fact, things are going to be going straight over to A, and there's no Viper utility soon enough to stop this. Great space gathered. Whitey's seen a little bit of trouble.
But look at this order.
It's actually 9 who gets the pick here. Toji gonna grab 1. It's gonna be a great pick from Bang as well. The man advantage is going to go the way of Crimson. Or Cataclysm. Sorry.
Well, Cataclysm is gonna go as well. They're gonna go, period. Rotate it over. And the Viper is behind. Whitey, see, he gets that kill. It's an important one. But how much further can they push? It's a big one for Muffin Man. The paint shells are denied, and even the showstopper is as well. Whitey, see, that's really ballsy. He pushed through, but he is spotted now. Should be easy work. 3 players. You even got the Seeker's Flash as well. And they will play it off to a T. Grimmer guarantees match point. And they are going to walk in. Maybe not with the Sheriffs. Okay, some sheriffs, but this is a very awkward buy for the side of NMSU.
I don't know, that raise of the judge though. That Bucky, I've seen rounds get swung around by a shotgun or 2, but that's a little bit of copium coming out because you are going up against 4 Vandals and a Phantom on match point. Cataclysm in the driver's seat here. It's all up to Crimson here. This is for the marbles. I believe this is for the playoff spot.
Yep, indeed.
So if they want to make it into playoffs, they're going to need to try their butts out right here, right now on this defense.
Yeah, this is their last chance as well, so you have got to be very careful in your kind of approach, of course. This has a whole lot riding upon it, not just for the side of NMSU Crimson, but also for the side of Cataclysm, because sure, their economy is good. But if you give them this round, then they build the economy, they have the ultimates, and they have a lot of the tools. And well, some of those tools will be used, and Cataclysm are discovered, but they don't care. They know that they are ahead in the firepower. They want to present the fight to them, and they're going straight in. The end is pretty low, but IJ got him covered. They're playing for each other's back, but that Spectre could do more than just a single kill, unfortunately for itself. Will not be able to do any more than that. Trace back and forth, and even in that, the advantage goes for Cataclysm. The judge was the main point of menace that we were discussing, and maybe YDC will be able to add more. He will have to add it all in this round. 1v2, Vandal in hand, full shields, but no shot to the head. Bang! Calls this one out, 13-9, and congratulations to Cataclysm as they lock in our first seed in the playoffs from the Plains.
absolutely spectacular play from them throughout the entirety of that match from the start to the finish. Yes, Crimson made it close. Yes, they did, you know, they did spectacularly, but
Yeah.
Cataclysm just in those needed rounds, they won those swing rounds. They won those anti-ecos. They got these, swing pivotal low econ rounds. That's what you need to do. Those are the rounds you need to win these matches, and that's shown brilliantly through this match. A great job from Cataclysm, and they deserve to be in these playoffs. I'm excited to see how they do.
Yeah, and honestly, like for NMSU also, you gotta give them their proper kudos because that was a very competitive game, and at times, especially at that round where Bang used the Viper split in that A site and he died to a wall bang, the game definitely felt that it still hangs in the balance, but I feel like more than anything, I just feel like Cataclysm was more clutch there at the end.
Cataclysm just doing, more clutch is a great word to put it, but great job from both these teams. Any more you want to say on this match, V?
Well, I mean, no, I feel like that is definitely like the match speaks for itself. I feel like Cataclysm played the round pretty well. They played around the map pretty well. I like the way that they played the initial side of the defense, but maybe with that map in particular, especially that bind, their attack definitely still needs some work. I just feel that it's not dynamic enough compared to some of the other teams that we have seen, like the top 2 or top 3 of their own respective groups.
Couldn't say anything better myself. And that's, I believe, going to be all from us. It's been wonderful, and I hope to see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow starts the day of the playoffs. Be there or be square. It's going to be a spectacular event. So I'm excited to see all of y'all here tomorrow for the playoffs, and that will be all from me.
Yep, and that'll be all for us, guys. So tune in at 2 in the afternoon. Just as Ansel has said, playoffs will kick off early on in the day. It's gonna be a very hectic weekend, but we will definitely have a fair shape of our podium. So see you until then, and have a great evening.